Alright guys, we're going to do another video. It's been a while since I've done one. Work, life, everything else has gotten in the way. I want to talk about something that's pretty commonly overlooked, and that's how somebody with a disability reacts in a traumatic, stressful, and potentially dangerous situation where they're hurt, their spouse is hurt, other people are involved, and what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have the backup to handle it with help. They have to handle it on their own. I have my wife here with me. We were just in a severe car wreck last night. I was the one behind the wheel. I'm going to start with having her talk about what she saw from her standpoint, from the point where we came to in the car until she was in the ambulance at the hospital. You want to go ahead?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So I came to after our airbags deployed, and I checked for my husband first, thinking of him and what he needs, and I realized he was already out of the car. Everything's ringing and muffled, and like we hurt, but I realized he's outside yelling for me to get out of the car. But I couldn't get my seatbelt, and I just was like, I need my stuff, but then I couldn't open my door. My door was wedged shut, and he ended up actually ripping the door open with his right arm was injured, and his left side is the one that's affected with cerebral palsy, but he ended up ripping the door open and then pulling me out of the car.
Do you feel like the disability had any effect in the way I reacted or the way that I handled the situation overall?
Like that it caused you a problem?
Yeah.
I don't think it caused you any problem. You did what you needed to do due to adrenaline running. Your left side was also hurt. You thought you had broken that wrist due to the impact with the driving. But thankfully, neither of us broke anything.
When we pulled off the stop sign, there was nobody coming. The driver had the right of way. I will say that. Neither one of us saw him. He was doing at least 40 miles an hour to trigger our airbags. After he connected with our car, even with us swerving trying to avoid hitting him, he stopped about 150 to 200 feet down the street in somebody's front yard. When we impacted, I saw the airbags deploy. I felt the hit. First instinct out of my mind was, is she okay? It didn't click that I was hurt. Your body will protect itself in the event something like that happens. It doesn't matter if you have cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism, whatever, your body goes into survival mode. Basically, I didn't even realize my dominant, unaffected hand was hurt until I was walking to my mom's car. We were following the ambulance with her to the hospital. Don't underestimate what somebody with a disability can do in a high-stress situation. I was a security officer for a little over 3 years. I was fortunate enough to be trained how to react in a high-stress situation. I tapped into that training without thinking twice about it. Somebody that is delayed or what's the word I'm looking for?
Not as quick.
Might not, but they can still handle a situation if need be.
They need to be taught.
They need to be taught, trained. I don't want to say drilled into their heads, but the repetition needs to be there. I no longer work security. I work 2 other jobs. One of them is working with children on a school bus. So I'm trained in situations where the kids are in danger. You don't lose your shit till it's over. You respond to the situation. You do not react. You stay calm. You get through it. Then you can break down. As somebody with a disability, I'm commonly underestimated as to what I can do. I had to put my ego and my attitude aside last night. I knew I was hurt. I knew she was hurt. You don't think about the pain. You don't think about, oh crap, my car is screwed. You think about who else is involved, what happened. The gentleman in the other car didn't care. Didn't ask if we were okay, nothing. Even after his verbal battery, I was still, are you guys okay? The cars don't matter right now. Are you okay? From a disabled standpoint, the disability didn't slow me down. I was no different than anybody walking down the street, other than my dominant hand did all the work. If it's a high stress situation where a spouse is involved or a loved one is involved, sometimes the one with the disability will make the most difference. Anything you'd like to add? I mean, you see me day to day, so.
I think I've worked with people that are special needs as well, young adults, and working with them also in a different environment. I believe that people that are not considered able-bodied or of
able mind
can do and are capable of so much more as long as they're taught and believed in. Yes, there are limitations to each person and to their cognitive abilities, but I don't think that a non-able-bodied or considered special needs person should be looked down upon in certain situations, that they can understand and know what to do in certain situations of fight or flight. But the repetition is definitely important, especially with younger ones or some that have a lower IQ level to childlike standards. They need to be taught to be calm and not panic, and his training with his jobs taught him to be calm and not panic. I knew not to panic, but my main concern was him, obviously with his cerebral palsy as well, but that he wasn't severely injured, and that since he hasn't had a seizure since he was little, to make sure that nothing tripped him having a seizure. But thankfully we both came out with just sprains and some bruises, and we're just thankful that we got to come home.
And as far as from a physical standpoint, a side effect of my cerebral palsy is I don't feel pain like a normal person feels pain. Me being in constant pain, from a medical standpoint, I have to tell hospital staff I have an elevated pain tolerance due to cerebral palsy. I don't feel it. So the average person's 10 is a 5 for me.
But you do go, if you get hurt on your left side, it is extreme.
Yes.
Despite no matter what it is, but for hours in the same spot, correct?
Yes, it's a weird tingling sensation. So if you run across a person that is a sufferer of cerebral palsy or paraplegic, even if they say, I'm not hurt, check them. Last night, I told the EMTs, focus on her. She was staggering around. She had hit her head. Her seatbelt didn't lock when the impact hit. I didn't know how bad I was hurt until I was getting in a car. I couldn't move my dominant hand, and both wrists were swelled. So it's not that we feel every little bit of pain and we're whining about it. It's we're in constant pain anyway, so anything that's elevated above that is hell for us. Last night, I didn't care about the pain. I wanted her okay. And being somebody that is very, very tall statured, the impact scared me in the way it hit on her side of the car. I wasn't thinking is, oh crap, I can't get out. It's, I smelled gas. The gas lines in that car ran right next to the battery. I knew I had to get us out. If the person with the disability knows what to do, 9 times out of 10, if they are physically able, they will do it. It doesn't matter what they have that's wrong with them. They will go above and beyond to help somebody. What do you think?
Yeah, and then also just be patient to anybody who may not be fully able-bodied, but to help them be calm and understand what to do, obviously.
Yes. But right now, I'm going to post pictures of the car later. It'll probably be in the comments. I'm doing the video from my cell phone, and I don't have the software to be able to add pictures into this video. If anybody wants to see the car, feel free to comment, and I will upload pictures as soon as I get a chance. Again, this channel is not for monetary gain. I do have a GoFundMe for the car that I've shared on friends' Facebook pages. I won't ask people we don't know to do that. Nobody that doesn't know our situation to help us like that. It's not anybody's problem but ours. But until the next video comes out, stay safe and be patient when you don't know somebody's situation.